everybody makes it. As I said, there's 4 or 5 people that will organise things and lead the standards at the football club. Kevin knows the football club. He knows the standards of this football club, which I thought was very important with so many new players coming in. With him and Brad obviously knowing the league, I thought it was important that we had that, and their leadership and the leadership group we've put together is the one that are driving the football club forward. And goal scorers are very, very hard to find. So Kevin started the season very well, and he'll take that responsibility on board. He already has. In terms of around the football club and all the things that go with a captain. But certainly it won't be just one person doing everything. We'll have a lot of people having a say in that as well.
Tough act to follow, because I know you spoke in glowing terms about Graham before, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Graham was a fantastic captain. He really was. He was probably last of the old school captains, so to speak. Done absolutely everything, on and off the pitch, commercially and football wise as well. And I think that's too much for one person. As I say, we sort of spread that out a little bit. Kevin will obviously have the armband and lead the club. He's a very intelligent footballer as well in terms of getting that message on the pitch when it's necessary. And him and Brad, I believe, will lead the changing room and will lead the players.
Another new signing as well, Chris Cadden. Just how delighted are you to have him, and why have you brought him in?
I think what Chris gives us is a vast amount of experience in the league. He's played in a team that's been high up in the division for many years now. I worked with Chris when he was a younger player, so I've great knowledge of him as a player, as a person, and he's another player that I believe will make the squad a lot stronger. We've got when I came in, we had a lot of variation of ages. What we have now is people in their prime and people that are making their way in the game, and I think it's a great example. And certainly everybody we bring in now, I believe, is strengthening the squad.
Any other new faces close? Are you looking to bring in many more?
We have to have people go out first of all. I think that's very clear. As I say, my appreciation was to the board. I said a few weeks ago that I was allowed to do this business before everybody went out. We've had some people move on, which has done very well with. But yeah, there's other things in the offing that haven't quite happened yet, but we expect that to happen in the coming weeks.
Looking at the squad list that was out today, the squad numbers, no Peter Ambrose in that. Obviously he's not had much of a role to play over recent times. Is he close to perhaps seeking a move away from the club?
Yeah, it's something we're working on at the minute. Peter won't be part of what we're doing going forward, so it's something that Lutz and the boys have been dealing with in terms of outs. I've been lucky enough at a club like this, I'm able to concentrate on the players coming in and the coaching. Lutz does a great job in terms of the hard stuff, getting people out of the football.
As we're talking about players, let me start with your team news for the game tomorrow.
So yeah, everybody bar Mats, but Mats is back in the training pitch again. Emma as well, who'll go down and have an injection on Wednesday into his thigh. But other than that, it's a fully fit squad from Saturday.
Just give us your thoughts going into this opening game of the season.
Looking forward to it. We've on paper we've got a very, very difficult start, but that's what you come here for. You come to big clubs to play in big games, live in Sky, Saturday evening kick-off, full house hopefully, and that's why you're in football. So it's something I believe we should embrace rather than be frightened of, and it's a chance to put our stamp on the season and make sure we get off to a good start.
Just in terms of the bigger picture, obviously it's well documented. The last season fell well below the standards expected of the football club. What is the target for this season, and what would constitute success?
I think the top 6 first and foremost. The club the size that we are, we have to be a top 6 football club. That's easier said than done. Over the last 5 years we've not been in there often enough, so we have to change that. I've spoke about bringing stability to the club, bringing a direction that everyone's going into the club, and I believe we're doing that, and that starts with becoming a regular top 6 club again. And from there, then you can look at Europe, you can look at cups, but ultimately you need to be in the top 6 before you can even consider European football.
Just in terms, you mentioned it's a tough start in terms of the opening fixtures. What are you expecting from Hearts? Are you expecting them to be a different beast under the new head coach there this time round? And could you benefit perhaps from the European commitments that they've had, and any hit to their confidence?
No, I don't. I think Sturm Graz are a very good side. So you have to put that into context. Them results, there wasn't as much in the tie as maybe the score suggests. When I watched the first leg, we managed to watch the second leg as well. We've watched a lot of their pre-season friendly games. They've got a huge squad, a lot of players to pick from, so that's probably my biggest problem, is picking their team. But no, every manager's got different styles, different ideas, but every time you play Hearts, it's a tough game. You know, we don't expect anything different. They will hopefully expect exactly the same coming to Pittodrie, and we have to make Pittodrie a place to be feared, a place that people don't enjoy coming to again, and that hasn't been often enough in the last 5 years.
Stephen, just on the squad things, that obviously Peter, you're a lovely guy, not there, but Kusini Yengi does he have a future under you this season at Aberdeen?
Everyone here is fighting for a place. At the moment, Kusini won't be in the squad tomorrow. He's not fit enough to be in the squad. He hasn't played any football. He's had a long-term injury, so he's only just started back training again, so he won't be involved this week or the next coming weeks. But everyone's got an opportunity. If they're good enough, they'll play. People say give people opportunities. You have an opportunity every day in training. You know, every day you train, every day you walk through that door, you've got an opportunity to impress the staff. So Kusini will be no different than anybody else.
It's just about a sellout. I think, I'm sure it will be by 5:30 tomorrow. This could be the perfect way to get your first full season up and running with a victory. Yeah,
it's, as I said, alluded to in the previous comments there, this is what you come to Aberdeen for. You know, full houses, expectation, live on Sky. That's what we want to do. That's what we all work for. So as I say, we'll embrace that. We have to make sure we get the crowd up. We have to give them someone to cheer for. Aberdeen fans have travelled in their numbers for numerous years to watch the club, and we have to give them an identity, and you know, we aim to start that tomorrow.
Is the nice thing that perhaps with the squad you've assembled and the experience that the new players who came in last summer have had, you're not having to explain what's expected of them in the game tomorrow night?
I think sometimes it's hard to actually give them that until they're in it. You know, you can show them things, you can talk about it, but until you come to the Scottish Premiership and see the passion from fans, see the commitment, see the tempo of the game, you know, yeah, pre-season's different. You know, the cup games are different. We have a lot of ownership, a lot of possession. It's quite a slow pace, so that's very difficult to recreate. So we've told everybody about it. Are they prepared for it? Yes, but certainly it certainly won't be a surprise. But we have to step up and manage that.
And one that Scott's an expert on as well, and I know because he's down the road near me, but Andrew Fasania, who you gave a debut with alongside Finlay Marshall. It's a shame that Finlay's probably been a wee bit overshadowed there, but he could play a part in the league since the changes came out yesterday. Yeah, the changes have only just come about, so I was glad to be proved wrong after my comments. I couldn't play until December, so that's always good to know. But what we have to do with Andrew is manage the expectation. He's 15 years of age. He's going back to school in September, so he'll be at school 3 days a week, so that probably puts it into perspective where Andrew is. He's an immense talent. He's a great kid, and he's very, very grounded. So we will use him when we need to use him. He'll certainly be in the squad tomorrow. He's not back at school yet, so that's good news. And again, Finlay, you mentioned, I believe Finlay was overshadowed because of the age, but Finlay's worked very, very hard. He's been very good in pre-season for me as well in training. He's got a lot of good players in front of him, or in competition with him, so to speak. But that's what we're trying to create. Young players have to earn their chance. They have to be better than the players that are in front of them, but we're trying to create that environment where everyone's competitive and the squad's competitive, and the two boys certainly fit into that. Excellent, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.